When news breaks, be the first to know. Text BREAKING to 68683 and get up to the minute updates right on your phone. 89 WLS.
Yep. The Queen of England jumping out of a helicopter with James Bond, Daniel Craig, showing her bloomers. What a distinguished way to introduce the Queen of England, one of the most revered figures, and I really like Helen Mirren. To me, the Queen is always going to be Helen Mirren. Anyway, speaking of great athletes, can I tell you something? There was a kid in my neighborhood when we moved out of Chicago, part of the white flight exodus in the 60s. And we showed up in Oak Lawn, which I thought was the country. The country right on 103rd Street. And there was a kid who was probably the greatest kid athlete I have ever seen. He could do everything. Baseball, football, basketball. And I haven't talked to him in I don't know how many gazillion decades, but he's on the phone. Dave Norgard wanted to say hello. Dave, are you there on line 2?
I am, JK. How are you?
How you doing, big guy?
I'm doing great. How are you? Glad to hear you this morning.
Yeah, what are you doing up so early?
You know what? I got to get my guys busy working today, and I got to work.
Because you didn't build that.
Yeah, right. I didn't.
You didn't build that. The government built that for you, right, Dave?
I'm physically going to do it today myself. So, but anyway, hey, I wanted to ask you real quick, that picture I sent you. Did you get my third email or whatever it was? I don't know if you get that stuff sometimes because I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. But
David, so the listeners understand, David sent me a photograph, and we're both bumblers when it comes to this kind of thing on the internet, obviously. He sent me a blackmail photograph, okay? He sent me a picture of my second grade, I think it was second or third grade.
It was second.
Second grade class, so I should post it up on Facebook once I get Shooter to show me how to do it. And then when I do that, I'll call you, Dave, and we'll reminisce, okay?
Absolutely. Hey, good to hear from you. I'm just, I'm surprised I heard you this morning. I just heard the voice and I knew it was you. So.
Oh, yeah, because that's how I sounded like in second grade, right?
You kind of did.
Yeah, right.
More like freshman year in high school. And, hey, you were a pretty darn good athlete yourself.
Oh, come on now.
Anybody kid you.
All right, buddy. Thanks
care,
a lot,
man.
David. Bye. There's a guy who's working at 5:30 in the morning getting his crew together. I guess he didn't build his business. The government did that. Peter from...
You didn't build that?
That's right. And it all depends on what the definition of that is, apparently, right? I'm hearing all this nonsense that he didn't say it or didn't mean to say it. Well, we'll get into that later. But right now, another person who's upset with the opening ceremonies is Peter from Mundelein. Peter?
Oh, hi, Jen. Yeah, I'd like to say that I enjoy your column.
Thank you.
I'm also a little sorry about Anna Lee for her injury, but I guess those things happen.
Who's that?
Oh, Anna Lee, remember, she was the one from Aurora who was finally selected after like a lifetime of gymnastics. So anyway, yeah.
That's too bad.
Too bad about that. But, I think it's ironic, about Romney, being there, and of course one of his issues is he wants to repeal Obamacare, even though he enacted pretty much the same program in Massachusetts.
It's kind of a difficult thing to do, to say that something's wrong when you did it yourself, right?
Right. And I think it's just...
That's kind of like me telling my kids not to, the way they drive, right? They're like, Dad, what about you with the hand out the window,
Well, I don't know how you drive. So
I'm very careful.
But, I think that was kind of ironic. And, of course, the health care thing that they have, that celebration at the Olympics, I think that was a little ridiculous, but...
Well, was it... what bothered you? I guess somebody said, let's see, Alistair Campbell, former British Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair's communication chief, retorted on Twitter, brilliant that we got a socialist to do the opening ceremony. So I guess that's what it was like, huh?
Well,
no, I was enjoying my antipasto and a beautiful Chianti at Capri and Burr Ridge. But so I missed it all, but Betty watched it, and she liked it. You didn't like it, huh?
No, I liked most of it. Most of it was pretty good. They showed the Industrial Revolution and that, and of course we're way past that.
I think a lot of these things are propaganda.
Well,
that's what it's about, right? It's post-country propaganda. And later, 2 years later, I'm so glad we didn't get the Olympics. Mike, can you imagine the deals that would have been cut if Chicago got the Olympics?
Oh, I got a feeling that if we had gotten the Olympics, people would have been saying 2 years ago, okay, where are the jobs? And
it would have cost you $75 to park.
Oh, yeah.
You'd need like a wheelbarrow of quarters to just park downtown. But thanks, Peter. Thanks for calling. Remember, you want to call me, John Kass, Chicago Tribune columnist, and probably one of the journalists with the largest cranium in the business, just physically, I mean. And the number here is 312-591-8900. I'm filling in for Jake Hartford, Awake with Jake, my favorite Saturday morning show. We have another person on the line, Donna from Normal. Donna, what's up?
Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, you almost said Jake, right?
I did. I almost said Jake, and you just said Awake with Jake, but sorry about that. I didn't mean to. My husband reminded me this morning when I was taking him to work that, hey, John Kass is on. I said, oh, yeah, put him on.
Yeah, come on, let's call in and beef him.
Yeah, he's going to be on his way to Athens today.
Oh, he's going to work in Athens?
Yeah, he flies. So
he's a pilot?
Airport. Yeah, that's what he tells me. Dresses up in this uniform and leaves, every couple days.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I'm going. I'll see you.
Right.
Okay, fine.
So
anyway,
what's up, Don?
Well, I watched the Olympics last night, the opening ceremonies, and I thought it was pretty funny how you didn't see them, but they did a thing about the Industrial Revolution and how Great Britain, they said, was the engine to the Industrial Revolution in the world. And I thought, well, then they must be the Industrial Revolution and the engine to global warming too. So they didn't happen to mention that, but I thought that was kind of ironic. And also when they did the thing about healthcare, do you know they actually said they were so proud of their healthcare there? And I thought that was a kind of an odd thing to say at an Olympic ceremony, opening ceremony. It was pretty bizarre.
It stops being about sport and it becomes nationalist propaganda, right? Like our healthcare is better than your healthcare. And
that's exactly what they said, John. It was so weird. I thought, where does that fit into the Olympics? But hey, that's how it goes. And I also did enjoy your column about Chick-fil-A. What a bizarre story that.
Yeah, I remember. I went into Chick-fil-A. You know what I forgot to order? And I'll talk about what I ordered later. When I forgot to order, I should have ordered my Chick-fil-A with a pillar of salt. You know what I mean? Sure. Like you could scrape off the salt from a pillar shaped like in the form of Lot's wife, and you could just shake it off.
Yes, that's true.
Crumble her feet and put it on your sandwich.
Oh,
what do you think? Is that kind of weird?
That's okay. Weird is okay.
All right. Thanks, Donna.
Thanks a lot for all you do. Appreciate it. Love your columns.
Let's see Jim from Joliet. What's up, Jim?
Hey.
Is the Are the Olympics a propaganda arm, or what's going on? What do you say? Jim? Okay. Where are you, Jim? Okay, Jim, thank you for calling. Let's see, we have John in Franklin Park. John is on disability and concerned about Social Security cuts. John, I know that is nothing about the Olympics, but this is John Kass, and on WOS, I listen to everything, so let me hear it.
How you doing, John?
How you doing, buddy?
Okay. I'm a little worried about, the election and everything else, and everyone talking about cutting everything, and I told
just your stuff. We're just going to cut your stuff, not my stuff. That's how we are in America, right, John? Just cut the other guy. Yeah.
And I can barely make ends meet now. And if they cut it, I don't know how I would do.
I don't think they're going to cut. I haven't heard any. Who's talking about cutting Social Security, John?
Well, the
the Republicans want to turn it into a voucher system, or at least cut it. Even the Democrats want to cut.
They don't want to cut Social Security, John, because you know why? Old people vote. Okay? It's real simple. You know, what'll happen is eventually when there's more Social Security people on Social Security, when there's enough of us and we're too old, then the young kids are going to turn us into crackers because they won't have any food. So, like that movie, Soylent Green?
Soylent Green.
Right.
Exactly.
We're going to have suicide cults and they'll turn us into crackers and everyone will eat us. Don't worry, they're not going to cut your Social Security. You should be worried more about the White Sox, John.
More worried about the White Sox?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the way they talk, it's just...
Well, I really don't think that. I think that's kind of... Somebody's blowing smoke in your ear, John. Come on. That's why you got to read the Tribune, read me, call WLS.
I read your
591-8900. Or, how about this? Call 222-3400 during the week, and the young lady named Shooter will answer, and you could talk to her. But right now, call 591-8900.
Okay.
All right? All right, thanks, John. Todd in Glendale Heights, we just got a few seconds. What's up, Todd?
Good morning, John. Hey, it's good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, man.
Your articles.
Thank you.
Please tell your wife to take care of Jake because I really like him. Let him walk around a little bit in the basement.
Yeah, the chain is only about 20 feet long, but he's really he's not in my basement, but I really like the guy, and so
I know. But anyway, I like your articles. You're like the old newsman that would tell it like it is, no matter what. That's
Sweetheart, give me rewrite. Right.
But I was watching the Olympics last night with my wife, and they had these nurses around with these big beds like you were talking about. I just commented to my wife, when am I going to see the footnote on the bottom that there was like 250,000 Brits that came to America to get medical service that they couldn't get in their own country?
Yeah, but most of those are youth soccer coaches because I'm paying for the youth soccer training. Listen, thanks, Todd. We have a break coming up. Remember, when we come back, 591-8900, call and beef Casso. We're sitting in for Jake on WLS.
89 WLS. News from across the country and around the world is moments away with an ABC News update on 89 WLS and WLSAM.com.
Good morning, Chicago. This is John Kass from the Chicago Tribune sitting in for Jake on 89 WLS. Our number to call is 312-591-8900. And I want to hear what you have to say about a lot of things because in the next hour, we're going to talk about the president and what he said or didn't say about whether a small businessman could actually build his own business or does the government build your own business? You didn't build that. You didn't build that.
You didn't build that. You didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Yeah, who was that? The alderman? The mayor? The congressman with his handout? I've been covering politics for a long time, and my dad was in a small business. And the column I wrote last week on that subject has gone nuts. It's gone national, and they're running it in papers all over the country. And we'll talk about that and the politics then, but in the next hour. But right now, I want to go to Diane from Chicago because she doesn't like the opening ceremony either, Diane.
Hello, John. I just wanted to say that other people that were watching the Olympics opening ceremony thought it was just so confusing and so much propaganda, and it was very disturbing to see the things that they were trying to promote.
What, the lesbian kiss thing?
Oh, the lesbian kiss thing, the integration of that they were showing, the...
Well, integration's not bad.
No, I took it maybe a different way. And also what they were trying to do regarding the health care was very, very alarming to me.
I'll tell you what was alarming to me, and what was really alarming was the fact that I was waiting for that second glass of wine and it came, so I didn't have to worry about the Olympics. But apparently they were showing some aspect of their Industrial Revolution that they forged the Olympic rings. In other words, that basically the workers of the world forged the Olympic, rings, when in fact it wasn't the workers and the unions that did it. It was the Oxford Dons, the most educated men in the world, who for centuries taught ancient Greek and Hellenistic ideals to the leaders, the future leaders of Great Britain and the world, and that's how the new Olympic movement began.
Well, we studied up on the history of the Olympics years ago, and I do say that the producer stated that he was not going to be able to compete with China and what they produced on their own show, which he never came near it. But, John, that's not the only reason I'm calling.
Okay.
Please help with this situation. In the last 5 years, having real estate in Cook County and in Will County, it has gone, we're not allowed to say anything in the ad anymore, which I'm sure you're aware of. We can't even say that it's near a church, because then we're targeting, instead of just giving people landmarks, we're targeting certain types of religions to come to the area for rental. We have experience, not only in residential, but commercial as well, that it has gone from maybe in the last 5 years, 20%, and this is fact, I can prove it to you, 20% on Section 8, and to approximately 98 the people on Section 8. Now, here's what's happened. In the last
what town, what area is this?
Cook County.
That more Section 8 is happening because more people are...
yes. And Will County as well, because all of the people that has been displaced from Chicago in your project are being...
You know what, Diane? There was a story done years ago by my first leg man, the legendary Slim the Leg Man, Liam Ford, from the Tribune. He helps run the... he's one of the guys on the Breaking News Center now. And when Daley dismantled public housing, it was hailed as a wonderful thing. And it was, because the people were stuck in basically vertical ghettos. But what wasn't discussed were the real estate development of those areas once they got rid of the people. And because a lot of guys made a lot of money. And the other thing that happened was what happened to the poor that were displaced. I know that in Chatham, for example, a very stable and excellent middle-class African-American community for years was subject to a wave of people coming from public housing, and that caused them some problems. So thanks for calling. We're going to move on to Joe in Sleepy Hollow, who knows about England. Joe?
Yeah, good morning. First of all, thank you for the excellent column yesterday about the chicken place. We're going to be the avid customers, etc. But, John, I want to
Don't forget the pillars of salt. You crumble the feet, and then, but don't use too many feet.
No,
okay?
But...
too much feet on your sandwich can hurt your blood pressure.
Well, I'm going to say omit the bread. I'm just going to have the meat, but whatever. But I want to tell you something that, you must have been related to General Leonidas of the Spartans, because you are some kind of warrior, aren't you?
I don't know about that. I don't think I'm a warrior. I'm more like a guy.
But you know what? You really blessed out wonderfully in your column, so keep it up. As to the Olympics, having lived in England and seen our allies, up close, they're fine, wonderful people.
Yes, they are.
But sometimes, for crying out loud, they let politics get in there. And, the whole thing is liberal left, like the Tribune. But the thing is this, well, I'm sorry, it is. Bruce Gold will not speak to me, neither will Margaret Holt. And you know what? Because I have pure pro-American views, and they don't like that.
Well, Joe, listen, I know both people, and we are You know, what shows you what great diversity the Tribune is, that they have, I think, the only two conservatives actually writing a column in the city. Me and sometimes Dennis Byrne.
Yeah.
And I find that to be, people ask me, are you lonely, out there? And I'm like, no, I kind of like it.
Yeah, yeah, we appreciate it. See what I mean? But these people at the Tribune, maybe your colleagues there, I mean, they're ignoring of me. And Miss Hofstad, that runs the Voice of the People, she's entirely rude. I'm not going to,
you know what, right now, listen, Joe, I know you have an issue there. They're not here to defend themselves.
They don't have any defense,
Hey, Joe?
What?
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Okay? Because my eyebrows are up now. I'm giving you the De Niro face right now.
Okay.
Okay? All right, what? Are you talking to me? All right? You want to talk to me about this, we'll talk. But
right.
I'm not going to have my colleagues beat up when they can't stand here and defend themselves, so that makes me defend them, and I don't know who's right or wrong. So I'm going to say you made a beef. You think we're too liberal. I guess you're still upset that the Tribune endorsed Barack Obama. I understand. But thanks for calling, and I hope you keep reading the column. Remember, it's 312-591-8900. I don't want a beef sandwich. I just want you to beef. Okay? Call me with your complaints. We're going to go to, let's see, who do we have now? We have number 5, Rob in Champaign. Rob, what's your beef?
Good morning, John. It's interesting you started this morning talking about if we had the Olympics in Chicago, parking would run to $75 or something. This week, I got a letter from a law firm in Chicago representing the Department of Administrative Hearings, and they found that I'm liable for a parking ticket issued on January 20th, 1998. And I mean, this arrived Thursday night.
Was it your car at that time? Or
it was, yeah.
Did you drive it?
And what it was a snowstorm. There was a big snow pile around all of the parking meters. I took the time to take a photo because there was a ticket on my car. I took photos of it, sent a letter in, and I figured, after not hearing from the city of Chicago for a year or two, it was a done deal. They did accept the logic that nobody could even get to the parking meters. But I thought, my Lord, is there no limit to the reach of the city of Chicago in its avarice, in its pursuit of gouging its residents? Or
Frank, Rob, do you owe the money or not?
No. I mean, and my point to them was, no, I didn't owe the money back in 1998.
Well, listen, here's what you do. You call me at the Chicago Tribune, and I get a column out of it, and let's see if we run your picture. So thank you, and I'll wait for your call. Meantime, we're on WLS 89, WLS, and we're taking a break.
Where's the beef?
One station making history every day. 89 WLS.